Hi, the name of this lesson is Triangle Sums. We've said before that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So example 1 says find the measure of the third angle of a triangle if the first angle has a measure of 66 and the second angle has a measure of 37. So we can just look at any triangle. Don't worry if the angles don't match these numbers, but we just want a visual. So we have one angle that's 66 and one that's 37. Well, we need this angle right here. And so we know that when we add them all up, we get 180. So we can simply add 66 to 37 and we get 103. And so the missing angle is 180 minus 103, which is equal to 67 degrees. So the missing angle is 67 degrees. Take a moment and do the quick check yourself. Again, you're just going to start with a triangle that has one angle of 84. Can't write very well with this, and one angle of 72. And we know that when we add those two numbers together, we get 156, and since all three angles have to add up to 180, we simply do 180 minus 156, and we get 24 degrees. Okay, so now let's look at the next problems. Next here on example 2, it says find the measure of each angle of triangle RST. Well, we see triangle RST has angle measures of 3x, x, and x plus 40. We know when we add these together, we have to get 180. So let's add 3x plus 1x plus 1x is 5x. And then we have this 40. And when we add all of that up together, we get 180. So we're going to subtract 40 from both sides, and we get 5x is equal to 140, and then we divide by 5. So 140 divided by 5 is 28. So x is 28. But be careful, because in this problem they're not asking for x, they're asking for the angle measures. Well, S is x, so we know that that angle measures 28 degrees, but angle R is 3 times x. So 28 times 3 is 84, and then the last angle is x plus 40, so 28 plus 40 is 68. And then you can always check your math, because these have to add up to 180. So I'll do that on the calculator. 84 plus 28 plus 68 is equal to 180. So we know our calculations are correct. Okay, in the next one here, find the value of x, and all of the angles are x. So they add up to 180. So 180 divided by 3 is 60. So if we have a triangle and all the measures are the same, all of the angles measure 60 degrees. And again, this is called an equiangular triangle, and all of the angles are 60 degrees. Now, this is kind of a shortcut if you can remember this. We know that the acute angles of a right triangle are complementary to each other. In other words, if this is a right angle, we know that angle is 90. Well, we know the other two angles together have to add up to 90, because 90 plus 90 is 180 degrees. So when you have a problem like this, you can add all of the angles together and set it equal to 180, but it's just shortcut just to know that since this one's 90, this angle here J and this angle here L together have to add up to 90. So again, it's just kind of a shortcut. I can add 3x plus 2 and 2x plus 3, and I'll get 5x plus 5, and I can set that equal to 90. Subtract 5 from both sides, and we get 5x is equal to 85, and then divide by 5, and 85 divided by 5 is 17. So x is 17. Let's see. So next we're going to talk about exterior angles of a triangle. As you can see here in this picture, we have a triangle, but they have extended this side of the triangle right here. And so when they extend the side of a triangle, this angle here is called an exterior angle. We could go around and extend all the sides. We could extend this one right here, and this would be another exterior angle. And we could extend, let's see, let me fix that. We've got to keep extending in the same way, and so this one here, actually, since I extend here, here, and here, I would have to extend right there. And this would be my other exterior angle right here. So those are called exterior angles. When the side of a triangle is extended, the angle that is adjacent is the word that goes in there. Adjacent to the interior angle. Okay, and so think about it. These angles 1 and 2, let me put some numbers on these. Let me get a different color pen. So 1 and 2 is a linear pair, right? So 3, and let's call this 5. This would be a linear pair. And 4 and 6, those would all be linear pairs. When you extend the side of a triangle, the interior angle and the exterior angle created are linear pairs. So let's scroll this up just a little bit, and then we have what are called the non-adjacent interior angles. When the side of a triangle is extended, the angles that are not adjacent to the exterior angle. So in the picture above, if 1 is adjacent to 2, the angles that are not adjacent to 1 are 3 and 4. Okay? And there's a special property about those angles. So the adjacent angle is the one that's next to it. And the other two angles inside the triangle, the other two interior angles, would be the non-adjacent interior angles. So let's see what that means. Well, here's a property about those, and it says that the measure of an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two non-adjacent interior angles. So in example 5, if the measure of angle D is 80 and the measure of angle F is 40, okay, there's kind of a long way we can go about getting it. We know that this angle here we can find that one because we can add 80 and 40 and get 120, and we know that this angle right here is 180 minus 120, which is 60, and we know that angle 1 is a linear pair with 60, and so that would be 120. But this property up here is telling us a shortcut is that we could just add 80 and 40. So if we add 80 and 40, we get 120. So let's look at that property on part B. Again, on this one, they tell us that X is 63 and that Z is 64. So the property tells us that we can add 64 and 63 and get 127, and that would give us the measure of the exterior angle. All right, now let's look at that with just a little bit of algebra. Scroll down to number 6, and it shows us a triangle, and we see an exterior angle that's created, and then they give us some measurements. So G is 11. Try my best to write neatly on here, but it's hard. 11x minus 2 is the measure of angle G. The measure of angle F is 8x plus 4, And then the measure of angle FEH, that's this angle, is 17x plus 10. So we can use the property above that told us when we add up the two non-adjacent interior angles, in other words, F and G. So we're going to add 8x plus 4 to 11x minus 2, and it is equal to the exterior angle, which in this case is 17x plus 10. So we get 19x plus 2 equals 17x plus 10. If we subtract 17x from both sides, we get 2x. And then I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. I get 2x is equal to 8. Divide by 2, and we get x is equal to 4. Now be careful, because again, they're asking for the measure of angle F. They did not ask for what x is. So then you just have to take that 4 and substitute right here. So 8 times 4 is 32, plus 4 is 36. So again, please take a moment and try and do the quick check by yourself. Okay, once you've filled in your angle measurements, we know that if we add H to J, we get the exterior angle here. So if we add 3x and 12x, we get 15x. And if we add 8 and a negative 2, we get plus 6 is equal to 10x plus 56. Subtract 10x from both sides, and you get 5x. Subtract 6 from both sides, and you get 50. And so x is 10. And then be sure and go back and answer the question that is asked. What is h? H is right here. So 3 times 10 plus 8 is 38 degrees. Okay, that's the end of the video.